Well, a couple of key events transpired over the last day or so, and we take a quick stock of how global markets are doing at the start of trade today, which is on Thursday. Well, US markets closed lower. Of course, the Fed minutes were in focus. That's one of the key events that obviously transpired. And also, there is some uncertainty around Russia and how the Ukraine conflict is panning out for them. Well, the Fed minutes stated that the central bank is willing to hike interest rates and reduce the balance sheet soon. Interest rates are expected to go up as soon as March, with Fed officials urging that a measured approach be taken despite the spike in inflation. Mind you, PPI numbers also came in at quite a high, in fact double of what was anticipated on a month-on-month basis at 1%. That came in yesterday. Well, the pandemic affected sectors are continuing to recover is what the Fed acknowledged, but the minutes indicate that there is a slight bit of dovishness in the Fed's approach even now. Of course, the Dow was down slightly by around 15 basis points, closing lower for the fourth day in the last 5. The S&P 500 also closed flat with a positive bias, down around 0.1% or so, and the Nasdaq also closed quite flat with a negative bias, though down around 11 basis points in trade yesterday. The US futures today morning pre-market are also trending lower. When we look at how Europe closed, well, European markets were absolutely flat after spending obviously day before yesterday in the green. So Wednesday was a flat day for Europe. Moving quickly on to how Asia is looking early in trade today. Well, the Asian indices look mixed, with only the Nikkei in the red actually. All the other indices are flat or in the green. So a good set of cues coming out from Asia at the moment. A decent set, may not be great, but a decent set of cues coming out, with the SGX Nifty up around 1/3% in early trade as we speak, so marginally higher in terms of the manner or the trajectory of cues. Also, when we look at commodities, well, commodities were in focus. The other output of the Russia-Ukraine crisis was, of course, oil prices, which went soaring, but oil prices surprisingly saw a dip to that $91 a barrel mark, and that was largely due to a top Iranian official tweeting that the sides, Iran and the US, were very close to an agreement that could potentially pave a path to lifting the US sanctions on Iranian oil, and that will mean, of course, that oil prices will trend lower. Moving quickly on to the other commodity, which is gold. Well, gold gained as concerns, of course, over Ukraine and Russia continued to persist, and gold reverted back to that $1,872 an ounce level. Moving quickly on to currency. Well, the dollar index also gained and or marginally gained in early trade today, and it's just below that 96 mark as we speak. The US 10-year Treasury yields are holding out well over that 2.03% mark, and Bitcoin has fallen to the $44,000 mark. It's broadly stable, but slight fall there. So around $44,000 is what the Bitcoin is holding out at. That's a roundup of how markets are looking in early trade today.